Hello and welcome to 18GB Media Spotlight. Today, the spotlight is on the state of Indian democracy. India just this year celebrated the 72nd Republic Day. We were, up until now, known as the world's largest democracy. But study from two recently out reports suggests otherwise. The VDEM Institute, which is a Sweden-based institute, has said that India is no longer an electoral democracy, classifying the country as an electoral autocracy instead, noting that much of the decline in democratic freedoms occurred after 2014. The VDEM Institute, an independent research institute based at the University of Gothenburg, has published data-heavy worldwide democracy reports since 2017. In last year's report, it had observed that India was on the verge of losing its status as a democracy. This year's report, based on data from 2020, has confirmed that suspicion, with VDEM retrospectively classifying India as an electoral autocracy from 2019. It said that the classification of India was highly uncertain last year because of the underlying data was not clear. But with more and better data this year, India is classified with a high degree of certainty as an electoral autocracy from 2019, it said. With this slide, India has moved from the top 50% of the 180 countries analyzed by VDEM to the bottom 50%. In last year's report, India was last among the 90 countries in the top 50%. This year, it is ranked 97th, falling into the bottom 50%. The VDEM report comes just days after Freedom House downgraded India from free to partly free for cracking down on expressions of dissent by the media, academics, civil society groups, and protesters. India's score in the annual Freedom in the World report dropped to 67 in the latest report, a drop from 71. India's slide in these reports only mirrors its decline in indices compiled by independent bodies which monitor democratic freedoms over the past few years. In March last year, Reporters Without Borders (RSF), the global media watchdog, placed India alongside China, Russia, Iran, and Saudi Arabia in a list of press freedom's worst digital predators. The list flags countries where companies and government agencies use digital technology to spy on and harass journalists. The following month, the US government's Religious Freedom Monitor recommended that the country's State Department should include India in the list of countries of special concern, in the company of China, Pakistan, North Korea, Saudi Arabia, and Russia. It noted that religious freedom had improved globally, but singled out India for seeing a sharp downturn in events. Again in April 2020, India was ranked 142nd out of 180 countries in RSF's Press Freedom Index, sliding 2 ranks down. It criticized the longest electronic curfew in history in Kashmir and highlighted that state troll armies in the country use the weapon of disinformation on social media. The country also fell 26 places to rank 105th among 162 countries and territories on a Global Economic Freedom Index, released by the Fraser Institute in Canada in September 2020. In November 2020, an international network of higher education institutions called on authorities in India to ensure the autonomy and functioning of higher education institutions. It highlighted fears that space for ideas and dialogues in India is being constricted and dissent punished, endangering scholars and students whose views are disfavored by the ruling government. Finally, in December 2020, India was ranked 111th out of 162 countries in the Cato Institute's Human Freedom Index 2020. The institute gave India a score of 6.43, which is lower than the index average human freedom rating of 6.93. Between 2019 and 2020 indices, the country plummeted 17 spots. The Freedom Report, which is titled Autocratization Turns Viral, says that India is among the countries leading the third wave of autocratization. It further says that autocratization typically follows a similar pattern across very different contexts. It begins with ruling governments attacking the media and civil society, followed by polarization of the society by disrespecting opponents and spreading false information, and culminates in elections being undermined.